Let this circle represent $1 million, just one. To most people, that already feels like success, a lifetime achievement, a finish line. Now duplicate it 10 times, that's $10 million. Now imagine 100 identical circles, that's $100 million. And now 1,000 identical circles, that is $1 billion at this scale. Numbers stop feeling real, they become abstract, distant, almost fictional. And yet Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, controls over 100 times that amount. Not a country, not a corporation, not an empire, one individual. And somewhere far from boardrooms, private jets, and gated estates, there is you. You wake up to an alarm, not because you want to, but because you must. You prepare yourself for a world that runs on schedules you didn't design. You commute, maybe through traffic, maybe on crowded transport, maybe alone behind a steering wheel. You arrive, you work. You answer emails, attend meetings, complete tasks. Tasks that, if you're honest, don't truly excite you. You check the clock, you wait, and eventually you leave. You come home tired, and tomorrow you do it again, day after day, week after week, year after year. You followed the instructions, you studied, you obeyed, you chose what was safe. You were promised stability, but instead you feel trapped. Rent rises, prices rise, costs rise, and your income. It barely moves. You don't feel lazy. You don't feel stupid. You feel stuck. Maybe you carry debt, credit cards, student loans, a mortgage that feels endless. Maybe you don't even check your bank balance anymore, not because there's too much money, but because there isn't. You scroll through your phone, you see people your age living lives that feel impossible. Luxury apartments, private balconies, supercars gliding through empty streets, and slowly a story forms in your mind. They were lucky. They were born into it. They had connections, because the alternative is more painful. The alternative is admitting that the rules you followed were never designed to make you free. Eventually, a thought creeps in: this game is rigged, and in a way you're right, but not because rich people cheated, and not because success is impossible. It's rigged because you were never taught how wealth actually works. You were taught how to survive, not how to win. Before we go any further, understand this. What you're about to hear will challenge everything you were taught about money, work, security, success. Most people reject these ideas immediately, not because they're wrong, but because accepting them means accepting responsibility, and responsibility is heavy. But if you're still listening, if you're still here, then maybe you're ready. Ask yourself this: what emotions do you associate with money? Stress, fear, guilt, shame. Those emotions didn't come from nowhere. They were installed by family, by school, by culture, by media. If you grew up without money, you learned scarcity. If you grew up with just enough, you learned caution. If you grew up wealthy, you learned systems. School never taught you how money is created. It never taught you how businesses scale. It never taught you how leverage works. Instead, it taught you how to be employable. Because societies don't run on owners, they run on workers. Notice something strange in movies. The wealthy are villains in stories. Success is suspicious. Ambition is quietly shamed. And yet, statistically, most ultra-wealthy people are self-made not because they are morally better, but because they understand systems and how value flows. Oprah Winfrey, born into poverty. Howard Schultz, born into poverty. Jeff Bezos, self-made. Elon Musk, self-made. Sarah Blakely, self-made. They learned the rules that most of society ignores. Hard work alone has never created wealth. If it did, the hardest workers on earth would be billionaires. But they aren't. Income is not tied to effort. It's tied to leverage. A job trades time for money. Time is finite, and once spent, it's gone forever. Let's be honest, if you earn $20 an hour and work 40 hours a week, it will take you nearly 24 years to reach a total of $1 million. And that's before taxes, before living expenses, before inflation. By the time you reach that 1 million, your energy is gone. Your youth is gone. Your time is gone. You didn't fail because you were lazy. You failed because you traded your most precious resource, time, for money that will never set you free. The market does not care how hard you work. It cares about scarcity, demand, impact. A cleaner is replaceable. An accountant is less replaceable. The market assigns value to what is rare, and to what solves problems. The more people need you, the more they perceive your value, the more they are willing to pay you. That is why billionaires exist. Here it is: wealth equals value times scale times leverage value. Does it solve a problem? Scale: how many people benefit? Leverage: does it require your time? Solve a small problem to get small reward. Solve a massive problem to get massive reward. This is why billionaires exist. This is why the young get rich. This is why luck has little to do with it. Money is not the target, it's the score. If you chase the score, you'll lose the game. Instead, chase problems, chase solutions. Every frustration is an opportunity. Every inefficiency is a doorway to wealth. Restaurants don't scale well, jobs don't scale at all, software platforms, digital products scale infinitely, create once, sell endlessly. That is leverage, that is freedom. Wealth is not hustle, it's detachment from time, automation systems, delegation. Eventually, you sell the business, or it runs without you. Either way, freedom begins. You don't want money, you want choice. You want time, you want freedom. Luxury is not excess. Luxury is autonomy, the ability to say no, the ability to disappear, the ability to choose. Is your life worth trading away for comfort? Is safety worth boredom? Is familiarity worth regret? Only you can answer that. Stop chasing money, chase problems, build solutions, scale them, because money follows value and freedom follows courage. This is Capital Lux, where wealth is studied, not worshipped, where luxury is understood, not displayed, and where money is treated for what it is: a tool.